Dear friends, we have the newspaper of 6th of July 2024. Now the first news is about the election result that came out in UK. As we know that the election is going on in UK and the election between two parties, that is Labour and Conservative. And in this election result, Labour Party has won the election of UK with the huge majority, and they secure 412 seats among the 600 seats of UK Parliament. And the name of next Prime Minister of UK is Keir Starmer, and here is the photo of Keir Starmer with his wife. As of now, the Rishi Sunak was the Prime Minister of UK. He was the first Prime Minister of UK of Indian origin, and he belonged to the Conservative Party. In this election, Conservative Party not performed very well, and as being in power for consecutive two terms, they face huge criticism. And for the newly elected PM of UK, the challenge of economy, as UK is facing a financial crisis, and in the tenure of Rishi Sunak, there is a two-time changing of Prime Minister of UK, Liz Truss, and Boris Johnson, then the Rishi Sunak. And after that, second issue in the political arena of UK is having a migration issue and the increasing tax on upper class, due to which there are several phenomena of living billionaires of UK are observed, and they shifting their business. Now move on to the next news is about Andhra Pradesh. AP in crisis needs more than special category status, Chief Minister. As of now, Chief Minister Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has a key alliance of current government of India for 18th Lok Sabha election, and he represents TDP, Telugu Desmond Party of Andhra Pradesh, and which is emerged as forming the government in the Andhra Pradesh, and the Andhra Pradesh government has demanded a special right, or now they are demanding more than that. The financial condition of Andhra Pradesh is not very much good, and they need to develop their own capital Amravati, which is a lost city as of now. And the government need to pay attention to the Andhra Pradesh, not only Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister is a key ally to the central government, but also keeping the Andhra Pradesh development as in priority list. Third news is about Modi visit to Russia, purely bilateral. Conflict in Ukraine on the agenda, Foreign Secretary. Indian Prime Minister will visit Russia in upcoming month, and this visit is purely bilateral. And in this bilateral meeting, India and Russia will talk about how to build and improve their bilateral ties, their military ties, their economical ties. India, as one of the largest buyer of Russian defense infrastructure, is very crucial, and India being an important buyer is very crucial for Russia for this time being, because Russia is involved in the Ukraine-Russia war, and they need support of world, as sanctions put by West or US or the UN to the world to make isolated is case pressure, and with the hosting India as an guest, make an impact to the rest of the world and give confidence to the Russia. Apart from that, the bilateral issue that India raised with the Russia is their trade deficit and the forceful induction of Indian origins people or Indian people into the army is key areas. Gentlemen, next news is about at 1.2 lakh crore defense production registers a new high in 2023-2024 center. This is a good sign as recently these data released by the Defense Ministry for 2023 and 2024. Collectively, India's defense productions reached to the 1.27 1 lakh 1,26,887 crores, reflecting a growth of 16.7 over the defense productions of previous financial year. And before 2022 and 2023, it was 1,08,684 crore. And with this, we are becoming self-reliant India in the defense, and it is very much necessary for a country like India to have their own defense production, and it not only give a boost to the India's own defense requirement but also give an opportunity to export to the country like Philippines, to the Armenia or rest of the required parties. Over the 25 lakh hit as Assam flood situation worsened. In Assam, due to monsoon, the river Brahmaputra flow high, and as the Brahmaputra river flow high or above the mark of danger, it create an impact to the people of Assam. Around 24 lakh people hit at Assam flood. And move on to the next news. About 99 lakh paid to the Agniveer Kumar's family in 3 thatches. Compensations and insurance different, say Rahul Gandhi. As second news is about compensation and the insurance. Recently, the government leader of opposition take this issue very seriously and point out the anomalies in the Agniveer scheme. He talk about there is 2 type of martyr in India, that a normal Jawan and a Agniveer. When Agniveer got martyred, he not get all the facilities and pay and perk that given to a martyr, and that's why he continuously pushing for reform in this scheme, and it is very much playing his role of oppositions to pointing the anomalies in this scheme and making this more effective. This editorial is talk about spiritual orientation, religious practice and court. Judge should not become the clergy to determine theological issues. Progressive India should not allow even an essential religious practice if it is contrary to the constitutional ethos and values. It talk about moreover regarding the holistic and the total address and implementation of constitutional values. Wherever and whenever we find that any practice in society is not in accordance with our constitutional ethos, whether it is religious, whether it is social, whether it is the cultural, we should eliminate that or amend that in a way that follow the constitutional ethos. Next is about the spectrum of neo-fascism that is haunting Europe. This editorial talk about the political situation of France, as recently in election have take place in Europe, signify the rise of far right-wing parties, and the decision taken by the French President Emmanuel Macron to conduct elections is case and political turmoil in France, and in ongoing election in France will be a clear indication who will be in power in France. If it is a far right wing parties or far left wing parties. And first phase of election has been completed in the France, in which far right wing parties making a clear edge as compared to the rest parties. And in this electoral campaigning, France football team's captain Kylian Mbappe has give an indication in support of leftist government or against of the far right parties, that they don't represent the country, that does not content with the values of Kylian Mbappe or values of their culture. And it by the passage of time, and there is a rise of far right wing parties in Europe as well as in North America, in North America's continent, because in UK recent election, the far right wing parties has secured the third most securing votes in UK political party system, and there is a high chance that the right wing leaders Donald Trump come into the power in the America. It create a huge impact. Why I am discussing so? Because far right wing and far left wing has different ideology. Far right wing leaders of West not much consider about environment, not they have highly focused toward the immigration policy. They just put white man theory on priority list. They just have the America first. They make US first. They emphasize on their nation first. And all this policy impact the rest of the world, because a lot of people go to this country for their job, their employment, their skill set, their education, and many of them are Indians. That's why we are have keenly discussing this topic. This article is about labor change. This is article same talk about the UK's Prime Minister, and this about walk the talk. PM Modi finally acknowledged Manipur crisis. Now he should push for the peace. The godman who failed his devotee. This report is talk about the case of Hathras. Victim and survivor silence. This ground reporting talk about the West Bengal case of Kangaroos Court, where the woman also did commit has prayed in unacceptable situations, and it give us a detail, and for detail you need to go through this article deeply. Central Travancore, a sitting duck for avian flu. Is this ground reporting and more detailed news talk about the avian flu that is continuously increasing in the Kerala, and which impact the migratory bird and rest of the bird in state or in India. And if this H1N1 flu have transmitted from flu to the human, it will cause a huge problem. And Kerala regional bodies and regional authorities working to have isolated, they just collected the sample and sent to the relevant authorities, and then they just cordon off and contained this avian flu to that area. But this is the fifth flu in the term, and the number of flus are increasing. We need more collaborative resource and research and development regarding this containing this issue and migratory bird places. Next, station overhaul, derails comfort and convenience. It talk about the uncomfortable and lack of facilities at different railway stations to the different railway station of India, and it given an example of Kurnool railway station of Andhra Pradesh, where is the lack of basic amenities and lack of proper securities at night, and there is a less working water tap and sitting arrangement or waiting room facility at the railway stations. This news is talk about food costs lift wage thalis price 10%, and it impact the price and common people of India. As the inflation rises, it impact the most people of middle class. Vistara AI mergers to meet NCLT's timeline. Now I reading the headline of JSW Energy plans 5,000 crore caps in energy development. Sale to invest 650 crores in capex for financial year 25. Panasonic to tap India's investment 100 million a year. He invests in the logistic facility of India or in infrastructure or in the market of construction and development. Women get only 10% MSME credit, RBI ED. As of now, the involvement of women in India's development is around 34%. As of their stake in MSME is around 10%, which is very low, and for inclusive progress of women, we need to give more financial support and assistance to the women. And next news is about diamonds export loses seen as lab grown stone spark. Next news is about India's fintech funding plummet amid global slowdown, so report. Next news is about Super Auto aims to double revenue to 3,000 crore target domestic push. Trump congratulate reform UK Farage ignore Keir Starmer win. France to pursue cooperation with UK after Labour win Macron. Starmer will be very good, very successful British PM Olaf Scholz. EU hail new UK government but seeks sticking to Brexit deal. Country first, party second. PM Starmer promises a change in UK. UK party left and right of mainstream do well. Rishi Sunak's term was marred by divisions within the party. SNP setback derail independent push. Iran hold run-off pitting conservative Jalali against reformist Pezeshkian. Junta under pressure as fiercest fighting break out in northeastern Myanmar. In his longest foreign trip, Pope to chair an interfaith meeting in Jakarta Mosque. In Mongolia, young leader seeks to usher in new dawn of democracy. More than 50 assaulted in French Fold campaign. Migrant face abuse and violence crossing Africa, say UN report. That's from my side, friend. See you soon.